Welcome to Crazy Talk Analytics. My name is Will, and this is another video of Excel Scrolls, a most unofficial The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era Excel-based simulator. An unofficial video, an unofficial product. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Chip Theory Games or Bethesda. So with that disclaimer aside, we're going to go ahead and jump right into day 3 of our adventure, of the adventure of our Breton Templar through Black Marsh. So if you're following along, I apologize. I know those town encounters got a little bit lengthy for just being town encounters. They were paired with some setups and some guild steps, etc. But we got most of that out of the way now, so hopefully we can move along a little bit faster. Of course, if there's a battle, it will probably be a bit of a longer video as well, but that will hopefully be more exciting with a few more things going on. As always, I'm open to recommendations, things if there are things that you think I can cut back on more, that I can cut back on, then absolutely let me know. So we are here in Alton Cormont, and our weather is rainy, meaning we can only move 2 spaces. We can move more than that if we want to get light fatigue. And one of the things, actually, I wasn't thinking about this before, but getting light fatigue may not be that bad. So I was thinking to move down here and essentially do an unstable, but if I move 2 more spaces, I get 2 light fatigue and I move further along. I'm at risk, though, of these guys. If it's sunny, then they'll be able to get up to me. If it's not sunny, then I might be able to work my way around them. So that's what do I think the weather's going to be like tomorrow. If I stop here at this unstable, then I'm definitely in the clear. And if it's sunny the next day, I may be able to run right past them. So I'm going to actually do that. Now, the 2 light fatigue isn't a terrible thing, because at the start of my turn, I do get to recover 2 dice. So those would be the 2 dice I would recover. So that's just something to consider when making these decisions. But what are the odds that the weather's going to be sunny? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to risk it, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? So we get 2 light fatigue for those extra 2 movement. And so let me see, we're here, 1, 2, 1, 2. That seems legit. So we're an unstable. We're going to roll the die. So let's go ahead and hide this. Take our unstable die and give it a roll. We get peaceful. So that's good. I don't have to worry about taking too much damage there if those NPCs do catch up to me. Plus, I'll also know what sort of icon I'm looking at for the peaceful encounter. I mean, it's not going to change anything. Whatever is going to happen, but let's draw. So, illusions of grandeur. Psst. Your eyes dart back and forth until you spot a striped Khajiit furtively waving you over. In her hand, she has a small sack that she tries to press into your palm. Her ears twitches. This one has a new strain of moon sugar for those with open minds, she says. Make you strong, make you powerful. Take it now and tell others of Khajiit and her wares. Stepping back, you appraise her new acquaintance. There is an ample evidence she may have sampled her own product, but a burst of strength in battle always useful, provided the side effects aren't overwhelming. So let's flip the card. I have a card selected. I'm going to flip the card. So, unstable, I have to take this top option. You feel strong, if a little disoriented. Each adventurer exhausts at least... I did not... did I? Wait. Yeah, I did. I got the light fatigue. Alright. Each adventurer must exhaust at least 1 available skill die. If possible, it may exhaust up to 5. For each skill die exhausted, they gain 1 bonus HP. So, I have to exhaust 1. Kind of sucks. Getting the bonus HP isn't bad. Each adventurer must exhaust as many skill die as possible, up to 5. Okay, no choice. This really, really sucks. I can't comment how much this sucks. Okay, bonus HP. At least I get 4 bonus HP. And I get 1 XP for this. And the 1 XP I can use to actually get, well, I can't use it to get a combat or a Daedric summoning die because both of those already have 2, which means the next will be 2. And I'm only going to get 1 XP from this. So this card is done, and it looks like it is sunny, which is super unfortunate. So all sorts of things going against me for this day. Hey, on the good news, it's a fast day, right? I mean, that's something. This isn't a 30-minute day, 30-minute town encounter. So we move that token there. Let me get back to here. It doesn't matter which one of these hits me. One of them is going to hit me. They'll both trigger the same effect. It could matter if I want to sort of progress more down this direction. I might have this one move up so that way I can clear the path. But we're not at that phase yet. So let's hold off on that. I don't need this anymore. I didn't claim the XP. I claim the XP now. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip the card and let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. For each skill die exhausted, they gain 1 bonus HP. So I don't have any more skill dice. I'm going to just discard that by deleting it. I don't cycle the card if it's actually an encounter. And what do I want to spend that skill on? Let me pause and think. Now, I should be clear that I don't have to spend the skill on anything. However, possibly, I was going to say I could go ahead and put it in health, but I do need some damage dealing die, and I do have two-handed now. Probably something I should have started with instead of Daedric summoning if I was going to end up with it. So maybe it's worth it to, this is kind of hanging out, to grab this Wrecking Blow, which deals 2 damage to your target, or deals 3 damage to your target and then gain 2 light fatigue. Or 1 Overfatigue. That's essentially what that's saying. So the fatigue isn't great. That's one of the bad parts about the two-handed skill dice, but it does have damage, and the Steel Maul is two-handed. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that because it only cost me 1 XP at this point, so we clear that. And we close the skill tray. So I think that's going to keep happening. I think as I basically rotate through, it's essentially refreshing based on what's over there. So what I'm going to do is bounce over here and just sort of slide that out of the way for now, so that doesn't keep coming back. Alright, so that should conclude the reward phase. It's not giving me a warm fuzzy. Now I do get 2 tenacity because it was unstable, so it doesn't matter if it's a success or a failure. It was a success. There was no failure on that peaceful encounter. So now, unfortunately, we trigger the enemy movement, the NPC movement, not explicitly enemies. They're mysterious pursuers, right? Maybe they want to give us some sweet rolls. We don't know yet. Actually, we do know because we have that battle set up. So this one's going to move 4. It's going to end up on our space. This one's not going to move at all. That's what I was saying, is that there's that wording in there that if one of them occupies the same hex as you, then movement basically stops for the NPCs. Now, I do get the rest and recovery step, but I have no intention of taking anything out of that trunk. However, I do get to recover some dice. Now, whether I recover the skill dice directly or I'm playing on Apprentice. I don't know if I officially disclose that at any point in time. So with Apprentice, you get to recover 2 dice and you get a heal for 2 health during this step. If I recover skill dice or recover fatigue dice, which is basically clearing them, it's essentially the same thing at this point. Maybe if the fatigue dice weren't the first 2 dice, it wouldn't be the same. Kind of makes me wish I didn't overexert to go those extra 2 spaces for a lot of reasons now. And yeah, that's it. That marks the end of day 3, and we roll into day 4, beginning the day triggering the start of day effect, which is going to be that battle. So I think I did not increment that for the XP that I got. And 1 second. And I never did move this to day 3. So it's bad on me. I really do need to be more on top of that. So day 1 was the starting town of, I believe it's Stormhold, and then Alton Coromont. Day 3 is the peaceful encounter. And now day 4 starts, we're about to start with that specific quest battle as outlined in the Gazetteer. So I don't have, at the start of the battle, I can essentially put whatever I want to in my ready inventory. I only have ready inventory, so I don't have to worry about that. But let's collapse this, and I will set up per that card. Let me go ahead and just pull that out again. So this is what the setup looks like. The clash mat and the entrance tile kind of coming in the top left, and then I have to place these cash tokens. And essentially what goes on is the trunk, the Blackguard trunk, is what's put here, not the legendary cash. It's represented by legendary cash chip, but it's not something that you can lockpick. Essentially what happens is the enemy units are all going to converge on that legendary cash chip, which is again the Blackguard trunk. They're going to try to take it, and they're going to try to run off with it. So if they leave with that, I'll double check, I'll read through this a bit, but I believe if they leave with that, then you lose. You definitely lose the trunk. It is conquer, so you still have to defeat everybody. So maybe, yeah, you might not lose the specific battle. Let me pause, give this a quick read, but you do lose the trunk, which means you can't recruit the sellswords. I decided to go ahead and zoom in on that so you all can read it a little bit better. And I'm going to pause for myself. You can pause as well. Okay, so essentially it's like I was saying, the enemy units, and I think we're at 4 XP right now, unless I messed that up. At some point I'll get good at keeping track of all this, I do promise. The enemy units are all going to converge on the chest, and they're going to try to leave with it. If they leave with it, the one that has the chest is going to be removed from the battle mat. Everybody else will remain as they are, and the battle still continues until everybody is defeated as per the conquer objective. And if I can successfully complete this, so successful completion doesn't mean you prevent them from running off with the chest, it just means defeating everybody, then I do get 1 XP. And if they run off with it, and like I mentioned, I cannot recruit the sellswords. So it's in my best interest to essentially to keep the chest and defeat all the enemies. And there's going to be 4 level 1s right now, so it's not looking great. Now, I'm thinking you guys might want to see me build all this out. I mean, I could just pause and have it populated, but for at least right now, that's what my assumption is. I'm going to put the hex tile here. I'm going to put the entrance tile here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this guy and move it accordingly. I believe that's where it'll be placed. I'm going to group that. That looks right. And then the next step here would be to drop the cash tokens. So I'm going to drop 4 common. I think that's 4. And they are placed here, here. That's only 3 tokens. Here, I guess. Nope. It's here and here. Nope. All right. And then down here is what it looks like. So I think that's correct. 2 at these top spots, and then 2 over here at these intersections. The legendary cache does get placed, but does not represent legendary cache in the strictest sense. Again, that's the Blackguard trunk. And now I got to populate enemies, starting with an enemy here. So we're at 4 XP if I didn't mess up keeping track of everything. So let's populate level 1 enemy. This says 5, so we do need to flip it. It's a skeleton. Skeleton has 2 health, it looks like. And that guy goes here, and then we're going to take another one. We get a Skeever Pup with 3 health. I do think that's a cute enemy, personally. Maybe it's just me. So now for the 2, he goes down here. We get another one, and that's Khajiit Marauder. So we are going to flip it to the Khajiit Bandit, which gets, is that 3? We'll go ahead and put that one down here, and then one more. Breton Bandit. So let's keep, I really wish that this was the first one out, because I'm a Breton, and I think basically the Khajiit is going to fill the side quest requirement, so we'll have to take a look at that. If it was the Breton, it would have been a bit better, because my character is a Breton, the adventurer is a Breton. So that one goes over here in 4. So let's take a quick look at abilities, and then because I saw the Breton, it reminded me about the side quest. So we'll take a look at the side quest and make sure we do that appropriately. Remember, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So the skeleton doesn't have anything. It does have 2 health, 1 attack or 1 combat, 2 defense, and 1 range. So the range is pretty short. Because all of these are level 1, they'll all basically, there's no priority for which one of these moves. I get to choose their order. So if I wanted to, I can move one of these towards, for example, this guy towards the cache, and that would have him have it versus, I don't know if there's any benefit of either one, but I get to choose the order that they start moving in. Retreat. Let's take a look at that skill. At the end of this unit's turn, if no units took damage this turn, this unit gains a stealth die and heals for 1 HP. So I want to make sure that at the end of this unit's turn, if no units took damage this turn, so I guess it means if it didn't attack me, if it didn't damage me or something, then they get a stealth and heals for 1 HP. And the stealth basically just means that I can't target them unless I start the turn adjacent to them. That's what we have over here. This unit can only be targeted by opposing units that were adjacent to it at the start of the current turn. And my character is melee, so it's not a huge, well, mostly melee, so it's not a huge deal. Let's see, we have Rot. So Rot is, after this unit is defeated by an adventurer, that adventurer gains 1 Overfatigue. Alright. I might have, okay, no, I didn't do my recovery stuff yet. That was the rest and recovery the last time. So Rot and then Steel. So Rot is Overfatigue after it's defeated, and Steel is when this unit determines a target, roll a 1d6 if the result is greater than or equal to its target's current HP, and my HP is, I think, at a 5 right now. That target discards a non-food item from their ready slot, which is not what I want to do at all. So I'm really hoping they roll a 1 to 4 or that I defeat them before then. And let's go ahead and I wanted to sort of just collapse this. Let's pop open our side quest and just confirm what's going on here. Place a token. I don't have that token. I'll just use an object token. This is the missing sibling, so it'll be the Khajiit Bandit. They came out first. And so I just need to do 1 plus 3, which is 4 tenacity check. I do have 2 tenacity right now, so I'm not too far off. But unfortunately, in order to get the tenacity, I have to have misses or something, or some ability that gives me tenacity. So it's not looking great. One of the things I could have done, I guess, is I could have spent my skill points, my XP points to get tenacity. I don't know if that would have been worth it. And that's when I end my turn. So it does say if it does say when an adventurer ends their turn, then they make the social check. So if I'm successful in the social check, then the sibling becomes a companion. If unsuccessful, or if the sibling is ever defeated, they are discarded, including before they are discarded along with this quest. So I don't know. If unsuccessful, so do they get discarded right away? I don't know. I'm planning to be successful if I can. I'm not going to attempt. It's not like it's a surprise. You know you have the tenacity or not. So, and this says you may make a social check, so you don't have to. If you're adjacent to them, you're attacking them, you don't have to necessarily do a social check. The flip side of that, though, is... I'll just copy this one. It doesn't matter what I use. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. For some reason, copying and pasting things directly to another area doesn't really work. I don't know why. I don't know what happened right there either. So I don't have to do the social check. I can hold off on it until I'm confident that I have the 4 tenacity that I need. Let me just go ahead and slide this over a little bit. So I need to place my character. And I think what I'm going to do, I got to go first. So I think I'm going to, I feel like I got to move and do an attack if I want. So you can move, engage, or you can engage, move. You just can't move, move, engage, or move, engage, move, if that all makes sense. I want to destroy the skeleton just because he's there. I want to work my way up to the Khajiit bandit. I don't need to do it right now. I want to get the tenacity so I can do a successful social check. I think I'm just going to move in here and probably move 2 spaces. It blocks the path of the skeleton to the chest. Or do I want to move 1 space and end on the loot? Yeah, let's do that. Because when I use my race ability, not only am I moving the steel maul, which would probably be the weapon I would overtax, could be weapon or armor, I could overtax the house, however you pronounce that, Cuirass. But I also move an item from my ready pack to from my pack to my ready slot. So having something there is good. Plus, it gives us a lockpick attempt. So that was a common. It looks like we get a 5-4-3 and 3 for the attempt. So I get a 4, I get a 5. I'm going to re-roll that. I get a 2. Do I want the light fatigue? I did forget. I'm going to learn, I promise. I did forget to recover my 2 dice in the beginning because of my cooldown stat. I am going to take the light fatigue to take the item because I don't know if I'm going to get a better deal than this. So that's good. We get our common item. I would have recovered these dice because of my stat, and then that's the light fatigue that I just got. All right, I feel not terrible about this. Now let's draw that common item. So I get an enchanted scamp head, camp alarm. If you recover a combat skill die during your adventure rest step, you may recover an additional combat skill die for free. You may discard this item in battle to recover all combat skill die. Now I can't actually put that in my ready slot. Well, I could. I would have to essentially cycle something else out, but I don't know that that's something that I want to use right now. So I think putting it here is good. Alright, I just paused to confirm that the defense is reduced per engage, not per turn, which makes sense. I was just a little bit hopeful. So essentially I can attack this guy. I'll have 2 attack dice. If I roll just 1, I can set it to 2, but that's not enough to get through the armor. If I really want to get through the armor, I need to use a powerful attack. Probably would have to be this. So I would set my battle form. So again, I didn't actually pause, but I am thinking. So I would set my battle form to heavy. Select my wrecking blow and a combat die. So I'm allowed to use those with this combat form or battle form. And take a look at this ability to see if I want to trigger this. So this ability works in the heavy battle form, and it says if you only roll a single combat skill dice, set the result to 2. I can use this multiple times as long as I'm not using the overtax. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I am using the Steel Maul. I'm only rolling 1 combat skill dice. I can set it to 2. A little nervous, I'm rolling, so I can now take this 1 result that we see here and take it to, looked like I went the wrong way, take it to a 2. So that's 2, plus this is, let's just select this, that is deal 3 damage, and I gain 2 life fatigue or 1 over fatigue. I think I'm going to try to wrap this up relatively quick. So the 1 over fatigue is, well, it's harder to remove though, that's the problem. I think I can still recover that during my rest and recovery phase though at the end of the day. So the 3 and the 2 gives me 5. And the 5 defeats the skeleton, 2 for the defense, 2 for the health. He's dead. I put that over here. I put this over here. Now the question is 2 life fatigue or 1 over fatigue. And I think I'm actually going to take the 1 over fatigue in this case. That's my 1 engage. Now I have the ability now to go ahead and go to defensive mode and roll this dice. Basically, going to defensive mode, it would allow me to heal for 1 HP, but I have no damage. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want the light fatigue, and I want to preserve that combat die. That might help me to do something like defeat a Skeever Pup or whatever. So at this point, I think I'm going to call my turn done. It was pretty successful. I got an item. I defeated an enemy. I got an over fatigue. It's not great. But let's see how it plays out with how these other guys, these enemies move. Alright, so I'm going to collapse this. And in no particular order, let's move this Breton down. He moves 2 spaces and he ends up with this chest. So we'll just kind of group them together. It's good enough. So he's got that, and he's going to run off and move 2 spaces. He's not going to actually make it to the entrance tile on 1 turn, so that's all right. He can't reach me because his range is 1, so I'm outside of his range. And his steal ability, he can't declare me as a target, so that's not going to trigger. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I don't want to move the Khajiit Bandit closer to me, but I might as well. The Khajiit Bandit, their range is 3. So honestly, they probably stop right here. The chest is already taken, so they're not going to move any more than they need to. And their attack is a 2. Their combat is a 2. Defense is 0. It means I should be able to easily defeat this character, but I want to recruit them, have them change sides. I don't want to defeat them. But they get to roll 2 combat dice towards me. And the retreat ability, meaning if they don't deal damage to me, so I have no control over that, right? Because it's on their turn. So if they don't deal damage to me, they get the stealth die and they recover 1 health. So 2 combat. Let's roll that. And they deal 2. So I actually, I'm clicking on the dice to look at them, but that also moves them. It's not the end of the world. So I have bonus HP, so that goes down first. And I go ahead and clear these. Now with retreat, I do believe retreat was just damage. I did take damage. It was bonus damage, but that's still damage. So that shouldn't trigger the retreat ability. Now the Skeever Pup moves up to say 2 spaces this way, and rot doesn't do anything. That's the end of this round. I think we can pan this over here. So we move on to round 2. I get to remove these 2 dice, recover these 2 dice rather, and I get to move and declare my battle form for my next engage. I'm going to move down here. I think I'm going to move 1 more. I think this gives me options, so I don't have to do the tenacity right away. I don't have to, um, do that side quest step automatically. Again, the imperative word there was may. So I'm here. I have to defeat this Breton. He has a 1 defense. He has 4. I don't have a lot of stuff going on. I think this is a great time for me to use my race ability, which is essentially once per battle, when you overtax a weapon or armor, return that item to your pack instead of discarding it. You may then move a different item to your ready slot. Now, I think you guys will forgive me for adjusting for this oversight. Again, I'm learning a game like many of you will be, hopefully, making decisions like this. When I was attacked by the Khajiit bandit, I should have been aware that I have this House of Hexoscurus, and I should have said before I rolled those 2 dice, I'm going to activate this ability. After an enemy engages, you gain 1 tenacity. I think that's a fair, I don't think that's asking too much. I get the 1 tenacity from that. I would have activated that. Again, keeping track of digital assets during a gameplay like this is a little bit more difficult than if the card was there. It's kind of small and out of sight. So I think I need to really pause and consider everything before I take an enemy or a unit's turn. So that being said, it is my turn now. I'll claim that 1 tenacity. I'm about to go into an engage, so just give me a moment. So yeah, I'm going to go for this combination. I'm going to stay in heavy weapon battle mode, and I'm going to roll just the 1 combat dice. That's going to allow me to change that to a 2. I'm going to declare that I'm going to overtax it, so I'm using the Steel Maul. And if I roll a single combat dice with no additional dice, this engage deal +4. Apply a maim dice. I won't need the maim dice because the 4 + 2 will be 5, which will be enough to just outright kill the Breton bandit. Once I do that, I trigger the opportunist ability to then, instead of discarding this maul, put it in my pack, and then I can take the item that's in my pack and put it where the maul is. Overall, I think that's pretty good play. So it almost doesn't matter. Like, rolling is kind of, it doesn't mean much right now. It's words elude me. We're just doing this for show. So we get a 1. And give me a second. All right, got a little got a little worrisome there, but I think I was able to fix it. So of course, right now, let's just go ahead and re-roll this guy. One more moment. All right, so I was able to manage to solve the code to have it break again. Hold on. All right. Finally back on track. So we're going to set that to a 2 and stop dancing around there. Set that to a 2 +4 = 6. Hopefully that wasn't too much for you guys. It was a bit for me, but hopefully it wasn't too much for you. We ungroup, and essentially he drops the chest where he's at, and then we move him over there. So that was my first engage action. I can do multiple more engages now. I would just have to incur the light fatigue. This does have to go to my pack now. That's part of the ability. But then I can move this in its place. I don't see any real benefit to me using that though right now, but we'll just have that ready. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to just go ahead and attack this Skeever Pup. Actually, maybe I just want to take the hits at this point and build up my tenacity. But in order for me to do that, because I know I'm going to probably lose health at this point, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more engage. Oh, I don't have the defense dice to roll. I don't know if I can take an engage, switch over to this battle form, take the light fatigue, not roll any dice. I probably can, and then heal for 1, but I don't know if taking the light fatigue for that would be worth it. So it's a question I pose out there. So can I do an engage, take the light fatigue, roll nothing, and then get the perk for being in that battle form at the start of my turn? It makes sense. I don't see a problem with it. Alright, so now I'm going to initiate the enemy turns. So we will move this guy. He's going to come over here, and this rat, this Skeever Pup, whatever we want to call him, he's going to move to the front, and he's going to take this chest. And I don't think he stops movement. So I'm just going to keep on. I was going to keep on moving him. Oh, I see what I did. So yeah, I'm just going to move him one more. It doesn't really matter. He's dead next turn anyway, so even if it did specify that he stops, it's fine. But he does attack me because I'm within his range, so he rolls that 1 attack dice. So he hits me for 1. That goes down by 1. Again, I should have said this beforehand. Look, give me one more pass, alright? Give me one more pass, and if I forget to declare this before another enemy engage, then I don't take any more. Of course, that one more pass is all that I need to actually use my tenacity to get this Khajiit Bandit. But so that's, he attacks me, I lose the one bonus HP, and now it's the Khajiit Bandit's turn. And she attacks me for 2. Watch. Before I roll these enemy engage dice, I want to use House Hexos Cuirass, which allows me, after an enemy engages you, gain 1 tenacity. So I would like to use this. I'm stating that. Add enemy dice, I get 2 damage. So now I start to dig into my actual health, and I get a tenacity. That should end the enemy turns, and then we go to round 3. I start my turn, and the first thing that I'm going to do, which I didn't do last time, I believe, is do my recovery step. So that gives me, clears a light fatigue, I get a combat die back, and I'm currently in heavy weapon battle form, so I don't get to heal for that health that I'm missing. And what I'm going to do now is attack the Skeever Pup, and then try to convert the Khajiit Bandit. So I'm going to, I don't have a lot of options here. I don't have my anything that does significant amount of damage. He only has 3 health. Hold on one second, let me just take a close look at what I do have access to. I mean, it has to be the Daedric summoning dice, just has to be. So we switch over to magic battle form. We clear these out. The position doesn't really matter here. So, magic battle form, targeting the Skeever Pup. So when you're in range battle form, you can't be adjacent, but when you're in magic battle form, you can be. So the range is 3, so I could technically use these dice. Well, actually, I think these dice specify adjacent anyway, so it's not bad. So I'm going to roll, and I get tenacity. I'm full up on tenacity, so that doesn't do anything. And then the bound armaments goes into active. And that is this one here at the end of any unit's turn. This is the one I like. You may choose an adventurer in one of these battle modes to perform an engage, rolling 3 enemy combat dice. This engage ignores enemy skill ethereal, which we don't have to worry about, and then exhaust this dice. So I'm not in one of those battle forms right now, so it almost is like this is designed in a way so where you can't use it, just end your turn and then benefit from it. So what I want to do is actually do a second engage where I take a light fatigue, switch my battle form to, it doesn't matter which one it is, I'll go light weapon, and then I'm going to take this down here and I'm going to attack the Skeever Pup. So I get a 1, he takes 1 damage. Sorry, that's 3 minus 1 for 2. Apologize that you had to see that. And I can go ahead and alright, so I can go ahead and end my turn, and I think I can basically do all of these actions in whatever order I want to. So I'm going to use my tenacity, so that's 4 tenacity, goes down to 1 to basically do, I think it's the social check. It says so party size plus 3, it's a social check. It'll pass, which means this unit then comes onto my turn. So this was after my turn, which means they're not even going to get a turn to activate, so it's not even going to transition over to the enemy turn yet. So they become on my side, they're now an ally, and then I'm also going to exhaust this to roll 3 enemy combat dice. I do need to do the correct placement here. So I got to roll 3 enemy combat dice towards that Skeever Pup. Hopefully I get some good stuff. It looks like 4, which is all I need. So he is officially defeated. Go ahead and move him over there. And so this is the end, right? Like, I can't move anymore. That was the end of my turn, so I don't get to move over here and do a cache. I guess technically my companion gets a turn, but that doesn't, they can't do a lockpick attempt. The end of the round triggers, and this encounter would be over. So unfortunately there's no more items for me, but it was a success. I get 1 XP and I get a companion. So I'm just going to go ahead and move her over here and move myself off over here as well while I'm at it. I'll delete this, clean up all of this, remove these. Typically you'd like to actually clear them. You see, I don't want that there. Give me 1 second. So that was successful, if not a little bit sketchy at times. I get the 1 XP and remove the pursuer token that's occupying the same hex. The other pursuer is still there, so I don't get to remove that one. So let's claim the 1 XP and remove that guy. Now we'll also set this back to 1. You know, I was going to try to do my best to make as clean of a playthrough on one of those battle encounters as I could. I do apologize. I will do better hopefully next time. I do have to increase this for 1 to indicate that 1 XP I got. We're still on day 4 and I'm in the reward phase. I could take another wrecking blow if I want to. Let me take a look at this. So I have 2 Daedric summoning. So these are actually gone. I can take another one of those. That might not be a bad deal as I'm getting more dice to build up to. Or I think maybe I'm at a point to where I save that XP and I don't try to spend it right away. I think that's going to be the play here. Alright, so I passed on actually doing anything with the experience points. And that takes us now to the basically the activate province step. And since that was a conflict, I need to actually draw a peaceful encounter. Go ahead and flip that, and it looks like we're at Sunny again. This was I was saying this is probably a general encounter, which is why they're all sunny, but no, it's a Black Marsh, as we can see here by the BM12. So I really do need to make sure I'm careful about what I have selected, because I did mess up again and tried to flip card on the token. So we're going to go ahead and put that token there. Hopefully none of that really impacted the viewing experience on your side too much. So with that there, where's my... give me a second. I see what happened. Okay, this is right. This is, I'm pretty sure where we were. We did the unstable, ended up being a peaceful, and then we got basically ambushed by the NPC that was down here. This is just the wrong token, so I'll fix that in the next one. However, I don't have to worry about that too much because it's sunny. This guy gets to move for the activate province effect, which means he moves 4, which means, guess what? I have another one of those encounters to look forward to. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. I take that back. I do believe that the text. This actually is skip the day's activate province step entirely. So I'm not even supposed to draw the card. I went from sunny to sunny, so it's not a big deal. But technically, I wasn't even supposed to draw that. So I caught it. That's fine. He doesn't move. No activate province effect step. We go straight to the rest and recovery. I don't want to take anything out of the chest. I get a heal for 2. I'll take it up 1 because that's my max health. And I get to recover 2 dice. I'm going to go ahead and clear this one. And I think I'm just going to clear... So do I want to clear that? I think I'm actually going to take the combat die. I think that's going to be the most useful one. And since that's kind of far out, and I will recover this combat die next, and these both support that battle form, I think that's sort of the direction I'm going to go in here. So that's my rest and recovery. You don't have to do them in a specific order, I don't think, as long as you're doing both of them. And that's going to finish up day 4, and then the next video will start off on day 5. We stay in sunny because that's where we left off, so hopefully we can put some distance between us and the other mysterious pursuer. Sorry if it got a little rocky this episode. Fortunately, I was able to salvage the program execution. I don't know how it looks on your side. I definitely know I have to fix the code going forward, but I'm not going to do that probably until after we do this playthrough because I don't want to have to go through the decks and etc. again, and I think I have a handle on how to fix problems after they arise. Sorry if this is going on kind of long. Again, let me know what you think. Always open to feedback. What can I do to improve all of this experience for you guys? Let me also get rid of these. These aren't supposed to be hanging out there anymore. Let me know if I made any misplays. Let me know if you have any difference of opinion on my rules interpretations. And as always, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.